Accurate, dependable, and late-breaking. This is local and state news on WLEN, Lenawee's local news station.
Hello, Lenawee County. My name is Brian Vish, and this is the WLEN Evening News. Let's get into it. The Lenawee County Board of Commissioners is seeking applicants to fill a vacancy on the Lenawee County Road Commission following the resignation of Road Commissioner Stan Wilson, effective June 30th. In Lenawee County, road commissioners are county-wide elected officials who serve as the Board of County Road Commissioners. The board establishes policy and oversees county road operations under Michigan law. Typical responsibilities of a Lenawee County Road Commissioner include hiring and evaluating the managing director, approving budgets, awarding contracts, and overseeing strategic planning for county road infrastructure. Commissioners also negotiate union contracts and engage with township officials, legislators, and community members to promote a safe and well-maintained road system. Per state statute, the Lenawee County Board of Commissioners must appoint a qualified individual to serve until the next general election in November of 2026. Applicants must submit a completed board appointment application and a letter of interest outlining their qualification and interest in the role. Submissions are due by 4 p.m. on Tuesday, July 23rd, 2025. The board appointment application and additional information are available at lenawee.mi.us or by contacting the Lenawee County Administrator's Office at 517-264-4508. The Lenawee County Board of Commissioners will review applications after the July 23rd deadline. The appointed road commissioner will help shape the county's road policies and infrastructure plans through 2026. The Lenawee Community Foundation has opened applications for the 2025 Ignite Fund grants to support basic needs, health, and human services across Lenawee County. The VC and Velma Knight Memorial Fund was established in 2008 through the generosity of VC and Velma Knight, who dedicated their lives to helping others. Since its creation, the fund has provided more than $625,000 in grants to support local food security, mental health, and homeless prevention, as well as child care programs. Grants will prioritize programs that provide direct services, leverage partnerships or matching funds, and can be sustained without long-term foundation support. Projects that encourage volunteerism and collaboration will also receive priority. Applications must be submitted electronically by August 1st. The application portal is available at goapply2.akoyago.com/LenaweeCF. For questions, contact Paula Trentman at 517-263-4696 or email Paula at lenaweecf.com. The Knight Fund continues to honor the legacy of VC and Velma Knight, supporting compassionate, community-driven solutions throughout Lenawee County. The City of Adrian is inviting residents to help shape the city's future by participating in a community survey and open input sessions. City leaders are updating Adrian's strategic plan and are asking for public feedback on the city's top priorities and the leadership qualities most important for the next city administrator. An online survey link will be available on WLEN.com. Residents can also attend in-person drop-in sessions on Thursday, July 10th and Wednesday, July 16th from 5 to 7 p.m. at the City Chambers Building on East Maumee Street. City officials say community input will directly impact the strategic planning process and the selection of the next city administrator. The Tecumseh Planning Commission has advanced a major zoning ordinance overhaul following a public hearing on June 10th. The updates to the Chapter 98 aim to streamline zoning, promote affordable housing, and consolidate overlapping districts. City Manager Dan Swallow introduced the project, which is supported by a state grant for a comprehensive review of the zoning ordinance. City Planner Lauren Sayer from McKenna provided an overview emphasizing the need to simplify the ordinance, address housing shortages, and create more flexible zoning options. The commission discussed lowering the minimum home sizes in residential districts to allow for smaller, more affordable homes. They agreed to reduce the minimum size in RA1 districts from 1,200 to 1,000 square feet and in RA2 districts from 900 to 800 square feet. The proposed zoning ordinance revisions will return to the Planning Commission for further review in July. If approved, the zoning changes could simplify development processes and support affordable housing initiatives across the city. Also from the Tecumseh Planning Commission, they have recommended approval of a Hayden Ford Mill rezoning amendment that would allow hotel and motel use on the site. The change would permit overnight guest suites on the second floor of the historic building. City Manager Dan Swallow explained that the site's existing conditional rezoning excluded hotel and motel use when the city owned the property. With new private ownership, the developers requested the zoning amendment to support unique lodging options tied to the venue. The Planning Commission held a public hearing on the amendment with no objections from the public. Commissioners unanimously supported the change, stating the guest suites would be a positive addition to the community. The motion passed 5-0 and will now go to the City Council for final consideration. If approved by the City Council, the Hayden Ford Mill property will officially support hotel use, expanding local lodging options and enhancing the site's long-term development potential. In state news, the Mackinac Bridge Authority will meet on July 9th to review ongoing bridge projects, upcoming events, and pending legislation on Mackinac Island. The agenda includes updates on the 2024-25 resurfacing and joint replacement project, the annual bridge inspection report, and planning for the annual Labor Day Bridge Walk. The authority will also discuss Senate Bill 71, which would make trespassing on non-public parts of the bridge a felony offense to strengthen infrastructure security. The meeting starts at 9 a.m. at the Grand Hotel's Brighton Pavilion. A closed session is scheduled to discuss a legal case, and the meeting will be live streamed on YouTube. Public comment will be accepted on agenda items. Accessibility accommodations are available by contacting the Michigan Department of Transportation. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel has joined a multi-state lawsuit challenging the Trump administration's decision to share Medicaid personal health data with federal immigration authorities. The lawsuit claims the data transfer violates federal law and privacy protections. The lawsuit, filed in the U.S. District Court of the Northern District of California, argues the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services unlawfully provided the Department of Homeland Security with large amounts of confidential Medicaid records. Nessel and the coalition argue that this data should be used only for administering Medicaid and cannot be repurposed for immigration enforcement. Nessel said this unauthorized access could threaten the health and privacy of Michigan residents. The federal government reportedly began transferring the data in June as part of a plan to build a database to support mass deportations. At this time, Michigan officials have no evidence that the state's residents' data has been shared. Medicaid and CHIP cover about 2.6 million people in Michigan, including over 1 million children. Nationwide, more than 78 million people are enrolled. The lawsuit asks the court to block the Trump administrations from transferring or using Medicaid data for immigration enforcement. Nessel joins 19 other attorneys general in the legal challenge. In national news, the U.S. Department of Agriculture will begin reopening southern ports for livestock trade with Mexico starting July 7th. Following a phased, risk-based approach to prevent the spread of the New World screwworm. The ports were closed on May 11th due to concerns about the northward spread of the New World screwworm. Since then, USDA animal and plant health inspection service experts have worked with Mexican authorities to expand surveillance and pest control, including consistently releasing over 100 million sterile flies per week. The reopening schedule begins with Douglas, Arizona on July 7th, followed by ports in Columbus, New Mexico on July 14th, Santa Teresa, New Mexico on July 21st, Del Rio, Texas on the 18th of August, and Laredo, Texas on September 15th. Additional ports will reopen based on the continued assessment, Mexico's animal movement control progress, and inspection protocol adherence. Eligible livestock includes cattle and bison from Sonora, Chihuahuas or animals treated per USDA protocols. Equines may be imported from anywhere in Mexico but must meet quarantine and inspection requirements. Full guidelines are available on the USDA website. The USDA will continue working with Mexican officials to expand sterile fly production, strengthen border controls, and monitor pest movement to protect U.S. livestock industries. The U.S. Senate narrowly passed President Donald Trump's signature policy bill on Tuesday, with Vice President J.D. Vance casting the tie-breaking vote after a 50-50 split. The nearly 900-page measure, known as the One Big Beautiful Bill, includes major tax cuts and immigration policies. The Senate debate began June 28th when Democrats forced clerks to read the entire 940-page bill aloud in a 16-hour overnight session. Lawmakers then entered an all-night voting session on June 30th, holding 41 votes in total. 3 Republican senators, Tom Tillis, Rand Paul, and Susan Collins, joined all Democrats in opposing the bill. The House of Representatives is expected to consider the bill for final approval immediately. House Speaker Mike Johnson said Republicans aim to send the bill to President Trump's desk by July 4th, calling it a key step to enacting the America First agenda. The bill includes tax cuts on tips and overtime pay, expanding immigration enforcement, and permanent extensions of the 2017 tax cuts. It also proposes major Medicaid funding cuts and is projected to add $3.3 trillion to the national debt over the next decade. The bill's final outcome remains uncertain as it returns to the House for a final vote. If signed into law, the One Big Beautiful Bill would lock in core parts of President Trump's second-term platform, reshaping tax policy, healthcare funding, and immigration enforcement. Here's your weather for Lenawee County. Tonight, partly sunny, around 85 degrees. Expect comfortable evening temperatures with clear skies gradually cooling into the low 70s through the evening. Thursday, we'll see mostly sunny skies with a high of 86 and an overnight low of 64. It'll be great for outdoor activities, moderate pleasant daytime conditions with a gentle breeze. The UV index does indicate that it will be moderate to high, so consider sunscreen and bring plenty of water. On Friday, July 4th, partly sunny, humid, with a high of 86 and a low of 69. Saturday, we'll see hot and sunny weather with a high of 93. There's a risk of heat stress, so take precautions. Sunday, July 6th, it will be hot again with 92 as the high, with evening clouds and isolated thunderstorms. On July 7th, it will be cooler, about 82 degrees, humid with morning showers, and partially sunny later on. And now for a look at sports. The 2025 All-Lenawee County girls soccer teams have been announced with selections made by John Roberts from 96.5 The Cave. Adrian's Ragnarero Mutadu and Lenawee Christian's Nathan Sharp were named Coaches of the Year after leading their teams to district championships. Sharp's Cougars also posted the county's best record with 16 wins. First team honors include standout players like Tatum Borton from Adrian, who scored 47 goals, and Clinton's Aubrey Lauer, who broke the MHSAA career goals record with 229. LCS goalkeeper Samantha Shane earned first team recognition with 11 shutouts and 173 saves. Tecumseh's Kylie Trevino and Onsted's Aubrey Smith were also named to top the squad. Second team selections feature players from Adrian, Blissfield, Clinton, Lenawee Christian, Onsted, and Tecumseh, while several others earned honorable mentions. The full team lists are available on 96.5 The Cave's website. And that's it for the WLEN Evening News. I'll see you tomorrow, Lenawee. You have a great evening.
Count on WLEN, Lenawee's local news station, to keep you informed with accurate and dependable information 24 hours a day.